No, what I ain't. Hey, everybody, I'm Brian,
I'm Vanessa.
and we're the Pals.
What's
Uh,
up? What's up?
well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I know why I didn't do that because you got to go right here. Speaker, got Yeti speaker. It's supposed to be MacBook Air speaker. So
All right.
that's the reason why you didn't hear the intro.
All right.
But everybody else heard it. So, how everybody doing tonight?
All
Hopefully,
good.
everybody is doing well. We're going to talk about some stuff about the decade report.
And the decade report is us
Explain to
talking
me.
about who we were in our 20s, 30s, and our 40s. So basically, just talking about who we were as a person and like what changed us,
Mm-hmm.
from being that person if we were that type of person. But or what things made us change in our 20s, our 30s, and our 40s. Every decade of your life is different. You grow um through different things, through different situations. Life happens, and all that. So I think that's it's a good thing. um I think people don't know who you are unless they've known you for a long time. So, like Brian, me and Brian, we've been together 24. Well, we've been together for 25 years, but married 24. Um, so we have pretty much kind of grown up together or grew up together. And because when we got married, we were like 24, 24, 25.
Yeah, he was a little bit older than me.
He kills me with that.
Old trout. She was old trout. I was
Hmm.
fresh fish, man. So
I don't know about fresh fish.
she was old trout, and I was a fresh fish. She called me Slippy, y'all.
Yeah, we only 6 months apart, so
She caught the
he's
fresh.
trying to make a really big deal about it. But anyway,
She caught the fresh fish tripping, man.
mm-mm. Mhm. So yeah, so that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about, and just different things like being parents in our 20s, or well, actually it was late 20s, early 30s when we became parents and stuff, and just pretty much just you know going through the motions.
Going through the motions,
Going through
being
the motions,
parents.
being parents, still receiving, wisdom and stuff from our parents. And now at the point of where we're pretty much making, decisions and taking care of our parents. So,
Yeah, we are getting to that point in life
yeah.
when the roles definitely when it's role reversals.
Hmm. And now,
You go from being being there with your parents, and now you got to kind of check, make sure they are on the point, they on point, and make sure everything is going well with them in their lives. So
yeah. So,
it definitely switches up a lot, man. That's how that's what you call the circle of life.
yes,
And the circle of
absolutely.
life is just like that, man. So
Yeah.
uh
Hey, Monique.
it's just interesting how the circle of life really
Thanks for
goes and
joining us.
everything. Thank you for joining with us, Mo. Uh like I say, the circle of life, man.
Yeah.
And we gonna talk about that. We gonna just see how did it go when we say the decade report.
Yeah.
That mean, hey man, what was you doing in your 20s
Yeah.
compared to your 30s, your 40s? Did you mess up?
So, how were you in your 20s? Well, so I met you, you were 23 going on 24. So yeah, were you 23? Because we met
Yeah,
in
yep.
okay. So 23, I was already 24.
Uh-huh.
So how were you in your early 20s?
How was I in my early
Yeah.
20s?
So would you rate your early 20s like what would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as like overall?
As far as like when you say overall, what do you mean by overall?
Overall, I mean like as a person, um were you like, a good person? Were you just out just wilding out? Were you
I was out of control in the 20s, man.
okay.
Before I met you, I was out of control. Man. Double OC, man.
Okay.
Just go be honest with you. I was just double OC, out of control, man. But I was having fun though, man. I was having good, safe fun,
Mm,
but I was having fun, man. I mean, uh, in relationship, I had a relationship and everything, but had a relationship, dealt with a lot of, I'm gonna say a lot of women, but
different relationships.
different relationships. That's a good way of putting it. It was very
Mm-hmm.
different. It was a lot of different relationships, different people, still going through just learning myself.
Yeah.
I had to go through learning myself when I was in my 20s and everything. And in the 20s, I mean, I had a temper like my dad, rest his soul. I mean, I you could tell I'm my dad's son because we had the I got his temper. I got his temper, and his temper is he will beat you up or go upside your head and everything. So I got his temperament, man, and it's kind of scary because I know him. I know how he operate. I know how he flows. So, man, I my 20s was just I had fun. I had a lot of fun. Moved into my own apartment. Me and my brother. Oh man, you talking about some of the best of times when we was 20, man. It's like didn't have no children.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So were you in when you were talking about relationships, were you in I guess like a serious relationship? Like so when you and your brother moved together, were you in a serious relationship then? Or were you just still like single but mingling?
I got a little bit serious when we moved together and everything.
Okay.
I got a little bit serious when we moved together.
Okay.
So it got to that point. We moved together and we started.
You and your brother.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I had company. We had company over there to the house and everything, but it wasn't really no. It wasn't no shacking. Put it like that. My mom didn't raise us to do no shacking or
Mm-hmm.
nothing like that. So we had company come over. They came over and then they end up leaving and stuff. Now, periodically, we know they spent the night periodically, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that, just like putting the clothes, putting bags, getting a dresser drawer. No, we wasn't going for that. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't nothing like that, man. Uh it wasn't nothing like that. We just had our own place where we can relax. And what we did, what we thought when we moved out, we say, man, we move out, we're gonna be on the go all the time. But when we moved out, we stayed at the house majority of the
Mm-hmm.
time. We ain't go nowhere. It was just the fact that we had our own house and everything. And
Right.
I think it took my mom a minute to get adjusted to that and everything, get adjusted to us being out on our own and everything. And
Right.
she was like, "Oh man, both of them gone. It ain't like one gone,
Both
both of
gone.
them gone." So, and we was just staying in the basement and everything over at the house. And now she see both her babies gone and out there experiencing life. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
we was doing. We was really experiencing life, and we had a good time. We had friends come over. We ain't even had no parties. We said we wanted to have some parties and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Periodically, we had people come over. We played spades and stuff.
But it wasn't like no
There wasn't
full house
no,
party.
none of that, none of
Yeah.
that.
But I think too, I think so when you're talking about like, when you moved out and stuff, so we're talking about the year of probably what 1990,
99,
99. Okay.
2000, 99. Yep.
99. So back then,
98, 99.
Yeah.
98.
So back then it's totally different now than it was back then. We was able to, it was a little bit more freedom. You didn't really have to worry about all the stuff you had to worry about now.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, it was a totally different, society. I think even like for me,
So what about you in your 20s and stuff? How was your 20s?
so my 20s was cool. It was fun. Had graduated from college. I was in a
Oh yeah, I did graduate from college too, y'all. let me put that disclaimer in. I did graduate from college. I am a college graduate, so
graduated from
college.
college. I graduated in 93. So I mean not 93, 95. Yeah, 95. And so I think with me, the thing about my 20s, it was cool.
Hey Arlene, how are you today?
I was trying to figure out just my next move, like in those 20s, like around like 95, 96. Like after I finished college, I was like, well, I don't think I want to stay in Iowa. That's where I'm originally from. So I didn't want to stay there because I knew it wasn't a lot of opportunities for me.
Right.
As far as like, I felt like I would be stuck if I stayed there. Like there wouldn't be no growth. So I told my parents, I said, I think I'm going to end up moving to St. Louis because that's where a lot of my dad's family lived. And we would always go there and visit. So I was kind of like, okay, I would rather move to St. Louis because I pretty much know St. Louis because we would visit all the time.
Right.
So made a date, stuck with it, and packed up my car. I had a 93 Corsica and packed it all up, everything I had, like all my clothes and stuff like that. Of course, I left my bed and stuff. And moved to St. Louis, stayed with my aunt, and then I stayed with my uncle and aunt after that because it was this thing like you couldn't move and get your own apartment. They wanted you to have at least like a year residency, especially since you're moving from a different state. So I just stayed with family for like a year. And then after that, I got my own place. Now, as far as relationships, I was in a relationship. Actually, we have broke up. So I was previously in a relationship with this person before, for probably about, I'm going to say about 3 years. And it was a long distance relationship, but we would visit each other often. And we had broke up. And I just wanted something fresh and new. So when I moved to St. Louis, of course, hanging out with your cousins and stuff, they hadn't seen you in a while. So, we're going to tear the city up. And that's what we did.
Now, getting back to talking about in our 20s. No, seriously. Now, one other thing I did want to mention, like in the 20s and everything, that I really was really significant too was I didn't really put like this. Me graduating from college, getting my bachelor's, thinking about going back and getting my master's. I'm thinking I'm supposed to come out of college making buku dollars and stuff, but it wasn't nothing like that. And my mentality at that time was, okay, this ain't gonna be my last job. This ain't gonna be my last job. I'm always getting another job. So I really didn't take jobs really seriously until I kind of transitioned into my next decade.
Yeah.
Into my 30s and everything. 20s, I'm like, I'm still young. I can get another job. I'm young, talented, got a degree, going back and get a master's and everything. I'm like, okay, cool. I can maneuver. And that was my mentality
Right.
behind all of that. And that was not probably one of the smartest mentalities, but that was my mentality behind that. So I'm like, okay, I got a little wiggle room and stuff. So I didn't really take jobs. I would go to work on time and everything and be there and do my job. But I'm like, okay, I didn't hang out too much and everything. 20s, it was just about, okay, you got a young male, a young man that's in their 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Hormones is just raging out of control. So it wasn't even about going, I have my own place. That's one of the biggest things. And one thing my uncle and them, my dad and them told me when we was young, when we before we moved in and stuff, got our own place, is a woman want to feel comfortable. So you can't have your woman over your mama house. She can't be comfortable. You have her over your house. She can relax, take off her shoes, maybe want to take a shower, come back and just she can't do that at your mama house. So that was one of the things. Huh?
We take a shower.
Where? At our house? Yeah, we take a shower. Taking showers, that's easy. But yeah, we took, I mean, hey, we had comfort and everything. And then like I say, it was just, I could get another job. I didn't have to really take a job seriously because I know, like I said, I'm young, I'm talented, got a degree, I'm finna get ready to get another degree, and I know I can really maneuver. So now it didn't really like to the end of my end of my 20s. Like, hey, you gotta lock in. You gotta get a job that you can just gradually grow and just be there for a while and everything.
Because at that point you was married. We were married.
Married. Before kids didn't come to like 30s, like end of 20s, early 30s, but I was married and stuff. It's just me and a wife now. And I'm like, okay, I'm still young, but I'm married. Now I can't just think about myself. I gotta think about this person too.
Yeah.
So now my mentality shifts some, like, okay, I can't just, if I get upset or mad at a job, I can't just walk off a job now.
Yeah.
30s, moving to that 30-year-old decade. A little bit mature, got a little bit more mature, start thinking about the person I'm with now. 30s is when kids came. Yeah. So now the whole paradigm shifts because now I'm responsible for a wife and now children. So I have to change my thinking along the lines and just do things differently and everything. I wasn't out. My thing with me in my 20s, and then I also did a lot of coaching. I did a lot of coaching in my 20s and my 30s, early 30s and stuff. I was gone a lot coaching. That's where I spent a lot of my time, on the baseball field, on the football field. One thing about my wife, she didn't have to worry about me going or straying or looking elsewhere, because where was I at? Baseball or football? She know that's my only place I was at. So I spent a lot of time on the baseball and the football in my 30s and everything, trying to develop young men to be good citizens, good role models, eventually good fathers, and eventually good husbands.
Yeah.
So that's what I did in my 30s, man. I started really locking in and honing in and say, hey, I got people depending on me now. So
like for me in my 20s, I think early 20s, I partied a lot.
And see, that was the thing. I never partied.
Yeah, I partied.
I wasn't no party goer. I wasn't go drink. I wasn't go smoke. I didn't do nothing.
And I think I don't want to say like, because growing up I don't know. I don't want to say I was sheltered, but I snuck out and stuff. Only because, I was raised in a Christian home. My dad was a deacon and my mom is a minister. So I guess you'd call me a PK kid, but when I moved to St. Louis, it was party city.
You got that wild hair in your butt.
Yeah.
That's
So
what it was. You got that old wild hair in your butt.
yeah. So that's what I did. But at I think probably I'm gonna say about 98, 99. I said I can't. I said I need to get myself together and slow it down because I did want to be married again because I've been married previously and I did want to be married again. And so I really just got to the point where I said, I just want to rededicate my life, which I did. And just, it was just me and God. So that's pretty much what I did. Like my friends would be like, let's go hang out, let's go do this. I'm like, nope. If you ain't talking about going to church, we can't do it. So that's all it would be is just church and work. That's it. I mean, me and my friends, we would go out to eat and stuff like that. But as far as like going out clubbing like I used to and, going to have a drink and all this other stuff, no. So,
I hung out with like a couple of my older cousin, went a couple places with them and everything. So when I was younger, so it really didn't phase me really going out and stuff. Now, one thing we did used to do when we went out, we used to go to a place called the Dirty Hole. The Dirty Hole.
oh,
The Dirty Hole was our nickname for it, but everybody, if you stay in the St. Louis or East St. Louis area, surrounding areas, you remember the Dirty Hole as the Pink Slip.
over on the east side.
Yes, we did do the strip clubs a few times in my day, prior to me getting married.
After.
When I do it after. I didn't go to I wasn't no strip club person after I got married. You tripping? I was not. I went to strip club after we got married. Talk to me. Talk to me. You looking in the camera? Look at me.
No. Bachelor parties?
That was different. Now, that was different.
So that was different.
Now, I threw my brother a bachelor party.
That was different.
And this was in my 20s. Got to rewind to the decade of the 20s. It was in my 20s. Now, what I did in the 20s, I threw my brother a bachelor party. And this was with his first wife. They threw a bachelor party, and they had her bachelorette party. They had it at their house. They had dancers and everything. So they did that. So I had a bachelor party for for my brother. For my brother. And me and the maid of honor, we said who bachelor party was gonna be the best. Was the bachelor party or the bachelorette party was gonna be the best? And the only time I went over to the strip club was to holler at a couple of dancers that we knew back in the day, and get some dancers for my brother's activity.
Click that screen down so I can see my face.
That's all we did for his activity. So, needless to say,
anywho,
I won the bet because this is 30 some odd years, close to 20, 25 plus years later. They still talk about their bachelor party. And it's funny, man, because we can sit back and laugh about it. But one of my buddies, he say, "Be proud. You did it, dog. You threw the thong bash of the millennium."
Click that down so I can see.
That's what we called it. The thong bash of the millennium. Everybody say, "Look at her face." Now, I was in my 20s when I did it. 20s.
let's
different decade.
so 30s. You
So-
already talked about your 30s.
So my 30s, like I say, 30s, I didn't hang out or nothing. It wasn't
Well,
nothing.
30s, we were having kids. We had kids.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I think we were still trying to figure out,
Parenting.
well, not only parenting, I mean, because we were babies, they were babies, but we were still trying to figure out marriage too,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because we were young. And then we brought kids. Let's see, David was born in what, 2004?
Yeah.
We got married in 2001. So we was just 3 years in.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was 3 years in.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's young in a marriage to have kids usually at, 3 years in your marriage.
And no, we got to go rewind back a step further too, because in 2002 we were pregnant, but you had a miscarriage.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
mm-hmm. So that's when the 20s parenthood
30s.
30s is when the parenthood really hatched
Yeah.
and began and everything. So we just went and just, did our thing as parents and everything.
Yeah.
So
A lot of guidance, just trying to figure it out because, just trying to figure out schedules. We both working full time. And at the same time being transparent, as after I had David, I wanted to stay at home, but then I was also dealing with postpartum depression.
Yeah.
So, that was a lot too. And then but I got through that. And then on top of that, David, I forgot what age he was colicky. So colic. So, dealing with trying to switch formulas, get him on the right formula and stuff. Then he was always kind of like in the hospital. He had RSV several times. And, of course, the ear infections and all that follow. So all of that stuff, just trying to navigate through all of that, being parents, dealing with different sicknesses, illnesses, back and forth to the hospital. Sometimes we had to stay there with them or, go back and forth and stuff. So
now I'm gonna tell you something. When she was pregnant with David, I have a younger cousin named Candy, and she just had a baby. She just had her baby few months before we gave birth to, around 5-6 months before we gave birth to David. And what happened, the baby Candy and Bo had was died of SIDS. And it really it scared us. It really scared us and everything. It was really an emotional time. And we the day of the funeral, I'll never forget it. The day of the funeral, me and Vanessa we was like, okay, Vanessa was pregnant with David. She was like around 7 months. So the day of the funeral, I'm like, okay, I didn't want her to go to the funeral, and she didn't want to go to see the baby land.
I did want to go.
Huh?
I did want to go.
Did you want to go?
But y'all wouldn't let me.
I didn't let you. I didn't let her. I did not want her to go.
Everybody didn't
and see that and everything. So I didn't want her to see that, man. And I said, okay, I'm gonna drop you off at my aunt's house, and then I'm gonna run down to the funeral home. Needless to say, when I dropped her off and I was on my way to the funeral home, I did not see the baby laying in the casket. The casket was already closed and everything. It was a little bitty casket. It was already closed. And God purposely did not let me see that. It was God purposely did not let me see that baby laying in a casket, because it was really hard on the whole family.
Yeah,
it was really hard. It's something that was really hard. She would be 21. She would be David's. Her and David would be the same age and everything because David just turned 21 on Tuesday. So that was really tough right there. And then when we had David, when that, I just kept getting up every. I was just getting up, just checking.
He was dealing with anxiety from that.
Yes, I was making sure he was breathing. I always put my hand by his nose and stuff, or rub his butt or something. I did it too. Don't do that. You weren't the only one.
He would wake me up in the middle of the night and say, I need you check on David, check on David. And that's exactly how it would be. He'd be like, check on David, check on David. I'm like, dude, he sleep, we all sleep. It's fine.
That was one of the things that I was really dealing with, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I knew he was. And that's normal. That's normal.
That was something that I had to get through and everything.
But you was also causing anxiety.
With you?
Yeah.
Because that was one of the biggest things. I said, once we get him to the age that he's a toddler, I think we'd be a little bit better. But it was just that point in our relationship, in our marriage, that it was just like, okay. Mm-hmm. But then another thing in our 30s, what you always need to do, and we were, like you said, we were still young couple married and stuff. It was a lot of outside chatter. A lot of people talking and trying to give advice and everything in the relationship.
Who was giving advice?
It's just people that.
You won't say who people?
It was a few people.
Who was the people?
It was a few people that was
Let's
out
talk
there
about the people.
Giving advice and everything. And
we being transparent, who's the people?
Who's the people? We just giving it was people. And
what was the advice?
Just saying, just gave us their opinions about things and stuff.
What was their opinions?
It was just opinions, Vanessa. They don't tell you need to go there. It was just outside.
Because I may not know what was the people talking about.
It was just things that was said and stuff, and probably said on your part that you never shared. But needless to say, that you can't have everybody in your relationship or in your marriage and everything. And I learned that when we transitioned to our 40s, it ain't nobody business what go on in this household.
So let me say this. He was talking about the people. I don't know what people. So, okay. but I'm saying this. Well, you say, okay.
I say, okay. I'm listening. Go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, I guess because I feel like I was really wrapped up in Kendall, just trying to navigate, we were both trying to navigate that her diagnosis with autism.
Yes.
And so I think I was more in tune with that instead of trying to worry about what the people were saying, so it was all about my daughter and just, navigating her life and how her life would look, even though we know God had it already under control, but you still want to make sure that she's getting everything that she needed to get to be successful in her life. So that's where I was at. And I was just, pretty much just about, just kids and work. Because I think at some point in our marriage, we weren't concerned about me and you. We were concerned about the kids and other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree with that statement.
Yeah, we were concerned about kids and other stuff. We weren't concerned about each other. And that's just being transparent. And I think every marriage has gone through that or is going through that, depending on where you are in your marriage. It's times in your marriage where you just concerned about your kids and work.
That's it.
Let's pay these bills and let's worry about these kids.
And that takes away from your spouse.
Yeah.
And everything. And let me see. Let me see. Let me see. How old was we? Let me see. Uh, I'm gonna tell you, and we just transparent, y'all. 2009 was a rocky year in our marriage and
Mm-hmm.
everything. It was rocky in '09.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go through counseling and everything. And it
Mm-hmm.
was just a rocky year and everything. And it was like we couldn't stand each other. And we had to get to learn, we had to get to, we had to get back to learning how to love
Love each
each other,
other. Yeah.
love each other.
Yeah.
And we was just like, hey, and we both probably felt the same way too. Like it's just
Mm-hmm.
about these kids, man. We just go co-parent these kids and we'll co-parent them in the house and everything. But then we have to get back to loving each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we went away from by focusing on our kids and
Yeah.
everything. And it's easy to get lost in the sauce when you're trying
Mm-hmm.
to focus on your children and you miss out on your spouse and everything. You neglect your spouse
Yeah.
or don't take your spouse's feelings into consideration because it's about the kids,
Yeah.
about the kids. And then when you guys finally get the kids settled and stuff, everybody tired and stuff. You can't have no grown-up time or nothing like
Mm-hmm.
that. So that's one of the things that I say in the 30s, that was one 30s was a year, man. That was one of those make or break years and everything.
Because what do
And
they always say? Like, in your
first 7 years.
yeah, first 7 years.
First 7 years. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, in those 30s, boy, like I say, 2009, boy, that was a year, boy. But God is good. God
Yeah.
got us through 2009 because we had to, and like I said, we had to get back to loving each other because
I felt, we both have had our moments where, we probably have both felt neglected,
yeah,
you know. So I think that in our 30s, like you said, we were trying to figure it out, but at the same time trying to keep the outside world from coming in.
yes,
So, and
keep the outside world from coming into your
in your
house.
marriage. And that includes everybody. I don't
Friends
care your
too.
friends, family, whatever.
And you can't take no, and if you're married, you really can't. I mean, you can probably, I mean, what advice can a single person really give a married person
Nothing.
if they haven't walked the day in those married shoes and
Mm.
everything? You can just go off life experiences. You can share
Yeah.
life experiences, but you can't tell a woman. None of my friends who weren't married can't tell me how to be a husband.
Right.
And just like none of her friends who never been married can tell her how to be a wife and everything.
Yeah.
Now, people who had skin in the game, got some years underneath their belt, they can provide that wisdom and that insight to us that
Mm-hmm.
can help us out and everything. So
And I think a lot of my insight came from my parents because my parents were married almost like 50, 54 years. So, I took a lot of um insight just seeing how my mom was as a wife and stuff,
mm-hmm.
just watching her and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
um that's why it's important, that you get discernment and wisdom from, who God leads you to as far as who to get the advice and inspiration from. So,
then we segue into our 40s.
yes.
For me, I'm still in my 40s. Somebody else
I
just transitioned from
listen,
her 40s to her
listen.
50s, 50 ball.
It's all good over here in the 50 club. It's all good. He want to tiptoe over and go back. He want to tiptoe over to the 50 club and then holler back at the 40. But he gonna be there real soon.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you one thing about 30s before we talk about these 40s and get up off her. In the 30s, I was at that age in the 30s. I can mess with them older and I can mess with them younger. I can get them in the 20s. I can get them in the 40s. I was right there. But see, me, I never was attracted to anyone my age. Vanessa, this lady right here, right here. She is the youngest woman I have ever been with.
But he always say I'm his cougar.
You are. You older than me.
But I'm only 6 months, babe, and I wish you would stop saying that. You always say my old lady.
My old lady. But you the youngest woman I ever been with.
But you know what? It's funny you say that because you're the youngest guy I've been with.
Wow.
Yeah, I just thought about that.
You are the young, yeah.
Because I always would date like either a year or two older, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think the oldest I've dated is probably like 6 or 7 years older.
Ooh, oldest I dated was 12 years older. Then I dated also.
No, that's a cougar.
I dated 14 years older too.
You was dating somebody's mama.
Yeah, I was. I was. Yeah. Yeah, and that's how I've been all my life. I just been attracted to older women.
Well, I'm not older.
You are older.
Well, 6 months, okay.
But you're older. Let's just call it, you are older than me.
Okay, babe.
You my old lady. I'm your young boy. Your young buck.
Not with that gray hanging.
These grays are.
Why you talking about you a young buck?
You have contributed to a lot of these grays.
Your kids.
You have contributed to this.
Them knees be popping, pop, 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 pop.
Oh, now I know you ain't talking. I know she ain't talking. Babe, rub my feet. My feet hurt.
Hey.
My feet hurt.
Because I stand on my feet all day. The bottom of the feet is different than the knees popping.
My knees on pop.
Talking about you got that stuff to rub on your knee.
No, you didn't. But who was this last night? David, go to Walmart. Give me some of that stuff for my knee. I can't do it no more. She talking all this trash though, man. I can't believe this girl over here talking like you talking. I need to get something for my knee, Dave.
It's hard out here for these 50-year-olds and their knees.
You said it, y'all. But 40s, man. Now put in the cruise control a little bit more 40s. There's more stability in the 40s and everything. We look at things differently in our 40s and everything. We look at life different. We look at perspective different. Like I said earlier, in my 20s and 30s, I was a little bit tempered and everything. Now in my 40s, I think, and I teach this to my son,
mm-hmm. I think
before I do react.
Did you say, let's rewind back.
Uh-huh.
Did you say tempered? Are you're tempered?
I had a short temper, short fuse. Yeah.
Yeah, you still do.
But now it's different. Because now in my 40s, I know every decision I make has a consequence. Every choice we make has consequences. Like I told David, when David was little, when he was a little bitty boy, I say, David, when I was going to get him from school one day, and I think he did something. I say, Dave, every decision you make has a consequence. Every choice you make has a consequence. Good choices have good consequences. Bad choices have bad consequences. Now, I explained to him a situation with me when my mom told me I couldn't hang out with some friends and stuff. And I was so mad at her. I went in there and just slammed my door. This when I was in high school. And she wouldn't let me go. She was hell-bent, did not let me go. Next day we get to school, found out one of the friends who I wanted to go out and hang out with and where they was gonna be at, shot and killed. Him and his brother. So people got shot and killed, man. And that was a choice, man. And then the next day, my mom, she was like, she heard about it. She said, that's why I do what I did. So now I think before I do a lot of things and stuff. I'm still got a quick fuse and everything, but I think I'm strategic now. And I always say, I and I'm working on this. I always want to have to get the last lick. I want to get my lick back. And I am getting better at not trying to get my lick back.
I think
Since I'm in my 40s, I know I'm finna fly it on the 50s in 6 months.
no, you got less than 6 months, buddy.
September, October,
Buddy.
November, December, January. I got 5 months
Yeah, buddy. It's on your heels. It's on these knees.
on them needs of yours. But like I say, I think now, I think a little bit more in my 40s. I'm a little bit more laid back. I still say things, I still say slick stuff periodically, but I think I'm a little bit more strategic with how I approach things and how I approach people. I do. Why you laughing? I am strategic. I don't just go in half cock no more.
As he says, God is still working on me.
That is my slogan.
I'm gonna get you a t-shirt.
God is working on a nigga.
God is still working because I have to talk you off the ledge sometimes.
Yeah, because I can go there. I can go 0 to 1,000 in a matter of seconds.
And will.
But I'm up there in there. I'm getting up there. I got zero tolerance for ignorance and foolishness and stuff I see. And that's why I try to steer away from a lot of things, going a lot of places. Because when I'm out, I see people conducting themselves and stuff. I just get in my car and go because I have zero tolerance. My tolerance level for stupidity in my 40s has gone down. I cannot deal with dumb stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. And hanging at the house and watching TV is up my alley at 40. In my 40s. I don't have to go nowhere. Friday nights, Saturday nights, as long as I got my TV and my sports, I am good. I don't have to go out nowhere.
Yeah.
I can be in the house. I'm okay with that. When people are having parties and birthdays and stuff, I can't tell you how many birthdays, events that we get invited to, and we just chill out at home.
Or we pick and choose.
We pick and choose, but for majority of them, we sit at home and send a birthday card or something, thanking them. But
I think in my 40s, I think I'm just I think I was just chill. And I mean, I was actually like excited probably around 45. I was like excited about turning 50. I was just like, oh wow, like I'm gonna be 50 in 5 years. Now it just snuck up on a sister. But I feel like, I mean, I'm 50, but I have people tell me you don't look 50, and I don't know what 50 is supposed to look like. But see what he doing? And that's actually been there since I was born. I was born with that little streak. So anyhow, now because it looks all black right up in here, y'all see me in person, it's gonna be all grays. I mean, you can see more grays and stuff, but that's because of these three. Him being the ringleader. But anywho, yeah, I mean, I'm cool with 50. 40s was really chilled. I'm a laid back person, so I don't have to be like, I think in my 20s and 30s, I was the type of person where I would always like to be hanging out with, friends and all that and stuff, or I had to be going here and there and whatever, always at somewhere, then plus smaller kids, you don't always want to be stuck in the house. So we was always doing stuff. But I think as our kids got older and they start having their own lives, they don't want to always hang with, their parents all the time. They want to hang with their friends. I kind of started like finding myself at a older age, like okay, me and Brian, we start doing stuff. We be at the movies or, stuff like that, or we might just Netflix and chill, or we might just go somewhere, just sit and eat, or sit outside or, just do couple stuff,
Mhm.
and I'll tell Brian knows I don't have to go nowhere. And I've been like this in my 40s. I don't have to do nothing.
Me neither. I'm the
I'm
same.
I'm just chill. Like I can sit up here and just do whatever, I need to do and just
Mhm.
watch TV. He'll be in the bedroom watching TV. I'll be in the living room watching TV, or he in the basement, so
That's it.
we don't have to. I work around people all day long. I work in the public all day long.
Mhm.
And then going to church, and doing that stuff. Sometimes I just feel like I've peopled enough.
And sometimes you got to detach yourself
Yeah,
away
and
from
I have to
people and stuff.
decompress.
Yeah,
I
you
have to decompress myself.
detach yourself away from people and everything
Yeah.
because
Me, yeah,
they
I
can
get
get you there.
yeah. And sometimes like with me, I get overstimulated when it's so much just like, with people, they issues, this stuff, that stuff, whatever. So I'm good for just being like, I'm gonna holler at you in about 2 or 3 days and I'm good.
That's how it is, man. I'm that way too, man. I can watch TV and
Yeah.
just be in here chilling. I don't have to go nowhere, do nothing. I can be right here in this house
Yeah.
chilling.
I'm an introvert mixed with extrovert.
I am extremely extroverted.
Yeah.
You can put me in any type of environment I will fit in.
Yeah.
Because I am that type of person. I'm an extrovert. So
and I think our kids are like that too.
what, introverted or extroverted?
They I think David is more extroverted, but he's also introvert. Like if he don't want to be bothered, he'll just stay in the house, Yeah. Kendall, she is totally intro.
Yeah, she's definitely introverted.
Yeah.
So how were you growing up? 20s, 30s, 40s?
Yeah. Share with us in the comments how y'all were.
Leave us an email.
What's the email, babe?
The email is the powwow@gmail.com.
Yeah.
That is the Powell, POWELL, POWWOW@gmail.com.
Yeah.
The powwow. It's been fun running down memory lane with you guys about how we were in our 20s compared to the 30s, compared to our 40s. You see a shift. You see a shift from young and just have no care in the world to now planning for your future and your kids' future and possibly grandkids' future. So you see the big difference in the paradigm shift, how it has changed over the years. Yeah. So, man, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Yes. We appreciate you being a part of our show. Tune in next. If you got any ideas or suggestions for topics and everything, don't hesitate. Shoot them over to us, man. We appreciate you guys, man. This is our 20th episode. Yes. Big shout out, man. 20 episodes, man. 20 episodes and many more to come, man. So thank you guys for tuning in. And go back and watch some of the first episode where we was on the couch. We're gonna go back to the couch. We're going back to the couch, man. Cause we gonna put some more content out here from the couch. Cause that's how everything started, from the couch, and then we do our lives. We got lives on Thursday. So we may trip y'all up a little bit. Go on the couch next week and post a video. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Brian. I'm Vanessa. And we're the Pals. Check you out next time. Holla.